Welcome to the Zac Yak Pack on the Jaggers Juxtaplooza. We're coming in a few minutes early, but these things happen. My name is Zach, and with us today we have
Zach.
Okay, because he actually showed up to work for a change. Don't you worry. Always make sure to use that hashtag Don't Be a Nick. You can follow us on the Facebook at facebook.com/thejaggersjuxtaplooza. You can follow me on the Instagram at mpjags. You can follow the other Zach at
Still haven't gotten that taken care of yet, but
24 episodes later.
Yes, don't forget we do have official merchandise at cafepress.com/thejaggersjuxtaplooza. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell to know when we go live, so that way you know if we're starting a few minutes early. And don't forget to like and leave comments, so that way we can go ahead and possibly have another talking point, because we actually don't really pre-plan this. Nor do we edit it.
Such as our comments that Yak Pack has a J at the end of it.
I misspelled. God.
She's drunk. She wishes she was drunk.
Don't be a Nick.
The response was, no, I'm not drunk. And then it's like, when I said she wishes she was drunk, it's yes. So, I mean, it's you can tell the kind of day we have had today. But we were discussing nerd-tastic.
I got pineapple bombed.
Right. We were discussing nerd-tastic things prior to the show starting. And so we decided we should probably come in just in time to get the talking point through before the cuckoo of the clock.
And also the cuckoo-ness that happens upstairs.
No, I was going to say the cuckoo-ness when you talk, but because it rhymed. But I'll go with yours.
Yep, the upstairs cuckoo-ness.
So, okay, so first you must know what my wife is drinking today.
Anything with alcohol in it.
Yes.
Well, that's besides the point. At this point, she would probably do straight shots of tequila the way her day's been going, and she doesn't do straight shots of shit. At
And
this point, she
tequila too.
At this point, she might just eat the worm. Like we're at that point of the day.
The gecko in the bottle too. Ew.
She probably goes scorpion.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody do that. I still want to witness that. So if that's going to happen, turn the camera.
Well, of course, but I don't own any because that shit's expensive, and I'm a cheapskate. So in fact, because I'm such a cheapskate, I splurged on my wife for this temporary special edition or whatever, Mike's Hard Lemonade pineapple edition.
Really?
Yes. Must you see this thing? Must you see that this exists?
The hell? Pineapple Mike's. So that's a totally different type of pineapple grenade.
Seasonal pick pineapple.
That's a totally different type of pineapple grenade.
Right. So when she throws that, it's in a glass bottle now. It's going to hurt a little bit more.
Especially if it shatters and the shards go in you.
You can only hope. I mean,
Then I know what it's like to be you.
No, I've never been stabbed with shards of glass. Thank you.
Just saying, shards in general.
Mine was a lot of ball bearings. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on before I piss her off.
No. She said she stepped on them.
I have too. It sucks.
Yeah. Well, no,
stepping on ball bearings sucks too.
Right. No, we had our dogs accidentally knock off our clear glass butter dish. So when it shattered into shards. It didn't shatter like into breakaway pieces. It actually splinters of glass all over the kitchen.
It was crystal, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. Thank God.
Yeah, I've done that with crystal, stepping on that type of stuff too. That really sucks.
We ran everything to clean this floor, and like a week later, all three of us stepped on glass.
One tiny little piece. Yep, there's always that.
Yeah, and it went
sucks.
through like the sock of the 5-year-old too.
Yeah, like tell you the truth, that's honestly the reason why I went away from CFL bulbs as quick as I could and just replaced all the bulbs with LED.
They're more expensive anyways. They don't work right.
Well, you know, before we had the actual LED bulbs, the CFL bulbs were the only other better option energy-wise. Well, the kids wound up breaking one in one of their lamps. That was bad.
Have you watched them cook out?
Yes.
No, I've had LEDs that burn out, and you can see they yellow and they only like overheat or something.
And then they flicker.
Yeah, which really bothers me a little bit because it's like, how are you not?
LED's supposed to be cold. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I thought I was gonna have to go save the cat because it's playing with the dog and got its claw hooked into the collar, but it rotated out of it.
Ooh.
It's like watching MMA going on over there.
Well, you got a zoo there, so.
Well, but so I never liked the CFLs. I refused to ever switch to them. The only time I got them is if like they were free.
Yeah, I mean, I tried them out, and I didn't switch everything over to them, thankfully. Because, I mean, they were, you know, the LEDs, they got the little transformer at the bottom of the whole bulb shape.
The same as your freaking fluorescent lamps.
Oh, my God. Those ones, the transformers and those things were hot as hell, the CFL ones. They got really hot, hotter than a regular bulb.
And then add in that the light was never the same.
No, it was never consistent.
If my wife did her makeup under a CFL and then walked outside, it's going to look 10 times different. Like when you go in Walmart, have you ever had like walking in Walmart and like you buy a shirt and then when you walk out, you realize it's a whole different color?
Yeah. Because they're using like those gymnasium halogens.
Yeah.
So the super bright whites.
Oh, speaking of, apparently Amazon is looking to start their own department stores, like physical stores. I saw that.
Brick and mortar.
Yeah.
I wonder how it's going to go for them. I mean, would that finally cross that line to where they're considered a monopoly?
No, probably not. But what I liked was the concept that it's like it'll make returns easier. I was like, can I get one near here, please?
Even if it's 30 minutes away, shit.
Yeah, because I had a concrete statue that we had ordered when we first moved in this house. So it's the middle of the COVID, and it came completely like the head of it was a statue of Mary, right? Mother of Christ, right? Okay.
Yep.
And the head was completely like separated. They sent this concrete statue in a box with nothing but just brown paper, like what you would haul with international paper. Brown paper crinkled up that set it in it. So it's like, obviously this is going to break. You didn't put anything in it to hold it.
Wow.
And no side that said this side up. So it probably got set down right on the head.
Wow.
Yeah.
None of the honeycomb wafer stuff in there.
Nothing.
Wow.
Just crinkle paper set on top of it, and then it's set on top of crinkle paper, and the crinkle paper set on top of it.
Wow.
And one large chunk of crinkled paper, not like multiple, like trying to break it, like fill in the airspace.
Nice.
And they're like, oh, well, return it to us. And this is during COVID when like nobody was returning shit to anybody. They're like, return it to us. And I was like, yeah, no, I'll just eat the money. Fuck you. I'm not sending it back.
How
Sadly,
much was it?
like it didn't look good. Like when it showed up, you could see like all the etches, like the holes in the concrete, like the air bubbles. And it's like this thing is actually like creeping me out like multiple ways, and I haven't figured out what's the proper way to dispose of this thing.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to burn that.
I don't know how it would be. Yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do. It wasn't blessed, so I don't have to look like at that concept of it. But
or was it?
Just a statue for like a garden statue.
No, the question is, was it?
Oh no, because they would have advertised that. They would have used that to like, oh hey, selling price.
But what if there was a priest trying to make ends meet inside the warehouse, blessing every package?
No, it doesn't work that way.
You get what I'm saying?
No, because you don't have the Catholic Church doesn't have priests with second jobs. Yeah, but no, the Catholic priests they're not going off and like holding second jobs. It's not like growing up, there's like the Nazarene church. Sometimes they'd have like the second job of teaching. Like the concept of a second job is like you might also be a teacher.
Yeah.
I've got a whining child that's getting told that knock her crap off.
Oh, there's one upstairs too right now. I can hear it.
Yeah. So, but no, it's but no, that's not how that works in that concept. I understand where you're coming from, but no, like you're not being given like one of those like, oh, I'm going to go work a second job.
Yeah.
I think Catholics are more likely to have that that vow of poverty and whatnot.
What the hell is this?
So that's kind of the thing there.
Jesus. Yeah, their girls are aggravating the hell out of her right now up there.
Do what?
The girls are aggravating the hell out of her upstairs right now.
Oh, welcome to my world.
Times 2.
No, times a zoo.
Yeah, you got the zoo.
Yeah, everything's getting yelled at here. Speaking of MMA, though, I actually have a family member who owns an MMA gym in the area. So at some point, I was like, oh, you want to come on and talk to things? Sometime they might do that.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Yeah, just because
especially how I got screwed up.
Well, what I found out is that a lot of these gyms, they either specialize in just one, maybe two
forms of
martial art
MMA.
forms, not actual MMA, where they can teach everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this is jujitsu, or oh, I'm doing kickboxing, but not.
Yeah, it's like primarily one form of martial art that they might call it mixed because they throw in a little bit of this and a little bit of that, like salt and pepper whenever you have your meal.
Right, but you have to be trained in each one, like at least a black belt to train in the forms.
Yeah.
There are purple belts training, but that's because nobody would be in the area, but they're still continuing their journey to the black belt. They're just not there yet, but they're training because there's an interest, and it's not normal, but it's not abnormal.
It's not ideal, pretty much.
Well, yeah, as long as they're still conducting towards that next, but they can't train past that purple belt level either, though.
Yeah.
But it would make much more sense coming from someone who lives in that world than me, who does not.
Or even myself, I mean, I started down that, but it didn't work out too well.
I'm getting requests to join my sister's live show of
Color Street?
I'm not advertising on this show, so I'm neither going to confirm nor deny the words that just disgustingly came out of your mouth.
Yeah, it's almost like paparazzi, whatever the hell it is.
I will say my wife bought the same style at Walmart, and they didn't hold up near as well as what the
ones that you get through the sales representative for the pyramid schemes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean there's multiple other ones out there. I understand the concept that it's cheaper than going to a salon, though. So
can I use this term? I
No.
use this term? This hasn't been used in a
Probably
long time. The bougie nail craze.
The what?
Bougie nail
I
craze.
don't even know what that means.
Oh, like preppy. Anyhow, never mind. Southern thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, so this just came through. 1619 Project author receives another major recognition, and it's from her media colleagues. Author of the 1619 Project has been named to the Times list of 100 most influential people in 2021.
What is 1619?
I don't want to get it wrong in how I explain it. I'll let you bother to look it up and like just type in on your Google what is and just read from there. While he's looking that up, I'm gonna throw out the 15-minute marker. Use the hashtag Don't Be a Nick. I'm on Instagram at MPJags. He's a jackass who doesn't use nothing other than his personal Facebook, which he won't let me give out. We have official merchandise at the cafepress.com/thejaggersjuxtaplooza. Here's the big kicker, though. This is the only thing I'm going to ask for our ad here.
Oh,
share it with your friends, because that's the only way we grow. Share us with your friends. So obviously you're there. You can read what it is for some of our viewers who may not know.
Yeah, it's best for everybody to look that up themselves. It's better off that way.
Because you'll voice an opinion?
I'm afraid to get anything wrong that I might say. Put it that way.
Conceptually, it's got to do with the founding of the country and whether or not we're founded on the racial terms or not, racial views or whatever. I know how it is. It's just like, but they're trying to teach it in schools, which becomes another issue because is it founded in fact or is it founded in perception of fact?
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like there's some question on that too. Probably better off being left alone for now.
Right.
Like so many other topics in the world today that wind up getting you marked on YouTube and banned and everything else.
But you know what doesn't get me banned? Drinking my they don't sponsor us. Devil's Cut.
Which would be sweet if they did, just like Miller.
In fact, my sponsor, just send me a free bottle a month.
Yeah, or a free case to me, for the...
It'll never happen.
No, definitely won't ever happen.
It would be a small-time, distillery that would do something like that.
It'd be nice to get a hookup like that, wouldn't it?
It would be. Those of you with friends who legally sell alcohol that they manufacture themselves should we could use sponsors, and we will sponsor. I will taste their alcohol, and I will give a full-fledged real opinion of it for sponsorship. I'm not afraid to sell my soul to sponsorship. But they can battle with God on it because I'm not actually selling my soul. Sell your soul, though. Don't you worry.
Oh, my.
What?
I just had somebody ask me a quick question. Does your driving record show speeding tickets? Yes.
There goes that raise you were going to get.
Well, it's a driving record. They show everything that's occurred while driving, any violation at all.
Are they talking driving record or current points on license?
Driving record.
Who other than my wife doesn't have a driving record with speeding tickets? Oh, you have no speeding tickets?
Not currently on my record.
No. On your record, like your record history. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, ever? Yeah, no,
yeah,
that
ever.
goes out the window. But it's been like 15 years.
Don't say jinxed yourself, dumbass. So
I'm not worried about it.
Tomorrow we get the speeding ticket.
I'm overdue.
Tomorrow when he gets a speeding ticket.
I'll be the first one to admit I'm overdue for a ticket. Way overdue. That includes scale tickets.
My wife, on the other hand, she goes the speed limit. She doesn't get pulled over for speeding.
What? Mine doesn't either.
If she's questionable, on whether a light is turned right on red, she'll just sit there until the light changes. She don't give a fuck. You can honk your horn behind her all you want. She don't give a fuck.
How was it seeing the stop except right turn signs? The ones around here.
Oh, that doesn't bother me. I understand them.
That was kind of the point. It was kind of the point saying that one.
We'll see. Can I? Is this it?
That was kind of the point.
Oh, he was responding to you. That was kind of the point.
Oh. It was sarcasm. It was dark sarcasm. Sorry. Bad day. Forgot.
Needless to say,
yeah, it's a good time to drink, isn't it?
no, I was waiting for you to fill in that. Needless to say, and then I would take a drink and you say something. You're failing at this today.
I fail every time. That's halfway what makes the show great. Watching me fail.
Yeah, about that.
Flop, like some sort of fish out of water.
So I saw somebody earlier today. They were roughly about my size.
I would hope so. That would mean you were blind if you didn't. Who'd you see?
Anyways, they were roughly about my size, right? And they're wearing this shirt that is your size.
Do what?
They're wearing a shirt. Somebody my size wearing a shirt that would fit you. Okay.
Okay.
In length, which causes the bagginess of width, right?
Okay.
So that they can hide their concealed carry.
That doesn't work too well.
I'm like, why not just wear a regular shirt and learn to better conceal your weapon? Or don't carry such a big weapon if you're too small for your weapon.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Asinine? Asin 10.
Counterproductive.
No, yeah, because I'm sitting there how are you getting to that concealed carry if your shirt is hanging here and your conceal's up here? It defeats the idea altogether if you can't access your weapon.
True.
Because your shirt's too long.
True. Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense to me on that one doing that.
Made no sense to me either.
What are they doing? Conceal carrying a full-on shotgun?
Concealed carrying a pistol of some sort.
Must be like a 650 bag. What? Could you see that? A 650 Magnum? Somebody tried to conceal carry that?
I'm pretty sure it was a 9mm.
Could you imagine somebody trying to conceal carry a 650 Magnum?
But that's besides the point. My point being, I'm pretty sure it was just a regular 9mm. My guess would be the weapon would be probably about that big, because the magazine was probably about that.
Nice.
Face comparison. So probably a 7 to 10 round magazine, a 9mm, probably roughly about that big.
That should be able to fit the small of your back with regular size clothes, no problem, and not be able to be seen. Should.
Trying to conceal it on the hip.
Why? People are stupid.
I can understand the front pocket. A smaller 9mm in your front pocket. I can understand that with the pocket holsters.
Yeah, but I mean, people are stupid.
Oh, did you? Oh, texted it to him? Oh, you posted it. Oh, because they're special. My wife saw it too, so I mean, it wasn't just me. I'm not just like talking out my ass.
Oh.
So
Yeah, people are just, that makes absolutely no sense. I gotta agree, definitely.
I understand the concept of concealed carrying. I don't understand why people went like ape shit crazy on the concept of concealed carrying.
Yeah, definitely a special person doing that. Definitely. Definitely.
No, I had to look over. She was getting pissed off at the PlayStation. She's about to throw her controller through the TV.
There you go. That's what you wanted in order to get a bigger TV anyhow.
No, that's the other TV that needs replaced anyway. So this one can move in my bedroom, and then I get the bigger TV in the living room. Shut your fucking mouth. We of the Jaggers Juxtaplooza do not condone the swearing of young children, and the language used on this show we are not responsible for.
Yeah. If you chose to watch this around your kids, you're the one who's wrong.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Oh. Wow, that one really got you fired up, though.
So that you can see that I'm actually mixing.
Yeah.
Seeing I've been accused of not actually mixing.
What, by just drinking soda? Yeah, right. I know better. I know way better. Sidebar discussion.
Do what?
Sidebar discussion there.
Oh, she asked me who accused me, so I had to like sidebar because I'm not gonna throw people's names out on the internet. Like that's assholic.
Wow. I guess they were just being a dick.
I talked to a buddy the other day. I haven't talked to him in years now, and he after catching up, oh, how's the kid doing? Because I've talked to you briefly when you had the kid, but I've never got to meet the kid. I've never got to meet your wife. All these things, like, it feels bad. He's like, I was like, well, just don't be a Nick. He's like, yeah, and I'm not going to ghost anymore. I said, no, that's called being a Nick. He's like, oh, that's being a Nick? I said, yeah, that's being a Nick. Don't be a Nick.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go in life, use that hashtag. Don't be a Nick. No matter what you're doing, if it's wrong, you're being a Nick.
I wonder how many porta johns that's been scribbled in yet.
Do what?
The hashtag "Don't be a Nick."
I don't think it's spread as wide yet, but I know he's living like an hour and a half away from where I am in a whole nother state. So,
really?
Yeah. So I mean, if he manages to get on, like either watching or not, that's where we'll have that benefit because I mean he can spread it with his friends.
Yeah. You're talking about that guy. Okay.
Yeah, he apparently was dating a hippie who is the most judgmental hippie he's ever met. So,
well, judgmental and hippie aren't necessarily counter things because they were rather judgmental of anybody who didn't have the open mind that they did.
Yeah, except the fact that it was the other way around.
Yeah.
For him, it was okay for her to do whatever she wanted, pre-hippie nonsense. But if he tried doing anything that she was doing, it's like, you realize that's called psychological abuse, right?
Sounded like a normal relationship.
No, driving down the fucking interstate. Grabs his cell phone and chucked it out the window and goes, "I'm sick of that person texting you." He's like, "Okay." Like chucks his cell phone out the window, and it's the only one that ever had my phone number in it. So, found me on Facebook under like his third Facebook profile. Now that he's finally out of all that, he's like, "I thought you hated me." I was like, "No, dude." I was like, "I was friends with you beforehand."
In that circumstance, was he wondering if he was going to get killed then because he had no way to call for help?
I would say probably not, because he looks for the. He's one of those people that if you apologize, he goes, oh, "Okay." Like, he's getting better about this is like after the last few years, I guess. But like he literally like always sees the best of everybody, and he's willing, like used to be willing to go to all extremes to just forgive you. Like, if you said you're sorry, he'd give you another chance.
Yeah, he's somebody that could be taken advantage of very easily.
And didn't realize he was being taken advantage of. So, yeah. Great guy. I mean, and that's what really bothered me when he, like, up and disappeared. And it turns out, like, at the time, mutual friend who it convinced him that, like, everybody was out to get him. It'd be better if he just disappeared. I was like, dude, he's like, I should have just come and talked to you. I said, yeah, you should have, because I would have told you it was bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, you should have known better. But I can understand when this guy pulled the wool over my eyes, too. Now he's sitting where he belongs.
In a dungeon.
In prison.
I liked my dungeon comment.
No, you're sitting in a dungeon. He's sitting in prison.
But by will, sitting in the dungeon.
I still say you need to move into the room in your basement and like turn that into an office so you can at least like hang something behind you. Like you can put a shelf up with your books. You can make it look like a lot more.
What, into the arms room?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Just put those on another one. You've got 2 doors there. There's 2 rooms there.
Yeah, but the tiny room that locks from the outside, I can see that going so wrong.
No, in the tiny room, move your arms room to the tiny room because it locks from the outside. In the bigger room, make that your office.
Oh, that's a storage room.
There's nothing stored in there.
No, in the bigger room, there is stuff stored there. Other than Christmas decorations, the only other thing in there is actually
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. No, you didn't show me the inside of that one then. I thought it was the other way around. I thought the one you showed me. Anyways, you need to get what you need to do, put those up like on the wall by the door or whatever so nobody can get it, see your weapons behind you because you don't want to. Everybody use the hashtag don't be a Nick. Let everybody know what all you own. So in doing so, you just have the backside be your office.
Yeah.
A studio, perhaps.
I'm liking this idea, but that means it's another project.
It's not another project. Cleaning up the mess is not another project.
I got to set up a desk and all that type of stuff in there.
No, you just move what you're using right now.
A busted table?
It's a desk.
It's the busted square plastic fold-up table.
It works.
So what did I busted when I didn't listen to her and wound up raising up the bed on the trailer and it was too close to the back?
So what you're saying is you should have listened to her.
Yeah, I actually should have in that case.
See, I always listen to my wife. I don't know what your problem is.
Now, here's the thing. I did hear her, okay? Now, when you listen to her, do you hear her or do you actually acknowledge what is said all the time?
Whenever my wife is right, I hear everything she has to say.
No, he doesn't.
And whenever you're wrong, you definitely know about it.
Yes.
And whenever I'm right, she storms out of the room.
That sounds about right.
Because when I'm right, I don't realize I'm coming across like a Nick.
Well, with me, I'll just stand there.
Sorry, I misspoke there. when I'm right, I don't realize I come across as a dick. My bad. Sorry. Got the two words confused because they mean almost the same thing.
Yeah. I'll just sometimes stand there and just smile until they walk away, until she walks out.
See, my wife and I've got this nice thing going. It's called 9 times out of 10, we actually agree with each other.
We try. There are times we do. Speaking of which, one of those things is tomorrow. And this leads right into another part. You know, we're probably going to start making our own little videos aside from this show and posting them up, correct?
I'd like to.
Yeah, so one of the ideas that we have for this type stuff is, and it's not necessarily pre-planned, but it's stuff that you have to plan for. So, you know, some of these stupid little construction projects I got around here and everything like that, I'm going to try and video them, and then I'll send the video footage to you, and you do the thing. So tomorrow,
no, I'll give you access to upload shit.
So tomorrow, you might want to edit it together a little bit. I think you have the editing software, don't you?
Not anymore. No? Not anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have any.
I have to get my office together, like my actual office, set up my desktop, and I have to pay for this shit again because Adobe actually switched to a creative whatever cloud system, so you actually have to pay subscription. You can't just buy the software.
Yeah, what? Not right offhand. I'm trying to think where it might be.
He's not. Did you check the drawer?
Might be in the garage.
I said drawer, not garage. Did you check the refrigerator?
Hold on.
Did you check in the dryer?
Yeah, seriously. Ow.
Well,
I might as well get a refill while I'm up.
That went to hell quick. No, I have no idea what's going on. But for those of you who are just joining us, this is the Zac Yak Pack on the Jaggers Juxtaplooza. That is spelled Juxtaplooza. Don't forget to always use that hashtag Don't Be a Nick. Use it everywhere you go. It's a good life tool. Don't be a Nick. You can follow us on the Facebook if you're not already at the Jaggers Juxtaplooza. You can follow me on Instagram at MPJags. And you can get your official merchandise to include pineapple tees, the Yak logo at cafepress.com/thejaggersjuxtaplooza. Make sure to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Hit that like button because it helps the YouTube algorithms. And go ahead and hit that notification bell to be notified whenever we're having new videos coming out. Typically about every Saturday at 8 p.m. is what we shoot for. Sometimes the schedule changes because life has its hairy ends. But make sure to leave comments because we do read our comments. And we try to respond to those in such suit. No comments. I've got no comments to run off of here, and no co-host to be able to host with. So,
my name is Special Education. Anyhow, distracted, squirrel, whatever.
No, the squirrels in our yard is Lollipop, Candy Cane. The next one to show up has already been pre-named to be Cherry. The squirrel on the way to school, his name is Squirrel Car, like C-A-R, Squirrel Car. And they are all our squirrel friends.
Hopefully no pancake.
Oh, I missed one. Hold on.
This is the one. It's a truck one.
Squirrel truck? Oh, and there's a squirrel truck.
Squirrel
It's a
truck.
silly name. That's what I just got told.
There you go. Is that because the squirrel feeder's in the bed of the truck?
No. These are the squirrels she names on the way to school is Squirrel Car and Squirrel Truck. The squirrels at the house are Lollipop and Candy Cane.
How is that going with the squirrels, by the way? Is it keeping the birds away?
Well, we now have Lollipop and Candy Cane. Give them time. They'll bring the rest of their family.
Hopefully not under the hood of the car and eating the soybean coating off of the wires.
Right. That's why I keep the food out for them, because if this food stops coming, then they sleep in the cars.
Yeah.
Which I have to add more squirrel food tomorrow. I've got to get more squirrel feeders, and I'm going to get squirrel houses in the trees.
The squirrel tail.
The war is on. I don't know why. I told my wife. I looked at her. I said, I don't get it. There's one thing in this world I've ever been good at. That was war. Everything else I just either whiz by, like breeze, like get lucky, like driving truck, or I suck at, right? I said, but one thing I am good at is war. And war is afoot.
Yeah, and mind games.
That's part of war. That was all part of war. And the war is afoot. And she's feeding these birds. And let's put it this way. There's a hell of a lot less bird shit on my wife's car all of a sudden here lately.
There's less.
Less.
There you go.
I have not seen, in fact, I don't see very much bird shit on her car all of a sudden. And there's not as many birds in the yard either.
You haven't had to wash it as often, in other words.
No, it does need a good bath, though, because of dust. But, no, I've seen some birds in the backyard. I looked at my wife. I said, those bushes are coming out.
There you go.
The bushes exist because I'm waiting for somebody to come get the goddamn fence and help me rip out the rest of the fence. But I guess I'm just going to have to fucking cut it out myself.
He's never visiting.
She's not necessarily wrong. So far, she's being proven right.
Never.
Are you looking at your roof? The things above you, or my
Floor
wife?
joists? I'm just kind of shaking my head.
Oh, because my wife's being proven right so far?
I'm just shaking my head. That's all.
Because she's right. My
Just
friends
shaking
don't
my
love
head.
me. It's nice. It's okay. I have to buy my friendship. I understand. Like dinner. Oh, I love telling people that story too. I was like, my buddy, if he had a gun, he would have shot me. And they're like, well, why? It's like, well, I beat him to the bill. They're like, okay, fair enough. I was like, well, you know, we make almost the same money. He has a higher cost of living where he is. He's housing me and feeding me. The least I can do is pick up a check, right? Like, he literally has 2 giant pork loins about to go on a freaking smoker. Like, he's feeding us the whole time we're there. Like, I'm not having to pay for a hotel room. Like, out of all honesty, the least I can do is pick up a check. And it's like, and I know, you know, like, you've got more kids in the house than me at one time. That costs more to raise kids. I got to sue. Trust me, it costs more than raising kids. But
oh yeah, veterinary bills are way worse than regular doctor's bills.
Oh God! But so.
I'm glad that's why I only had the one expensive vet bill this year, $1,200.
Till other dogs have to go get their shots updated.
That's included in their insurance. So hey,
the thing being. Well, eventually I'm sure you'll have a puppy in your house. But the thing being, that, you know, it's like the least I can do is pick up the check. And they're like, well, yeah, that makes sense. I was like, yeah. And I got up, went to the bathroom, and I caught the waitress. I said, bring me the bill. Don't let him get it. And she goes, okay, and handed it to me behind my back. And he's like, that wasn't fair. The game was supposed to be played at the table where like, the bill gets laid down. It was how it was supposed to work. I was taking you out, and I knew you were going to try to pay, but you went around but fucking underhanded. It's like, did you expect anything less? And really, your answer should have been no. Like, you really should.
I was just like, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
And the big thing is because it's kind of like with your kids. When you yell at your kids and you ground them, if they find a way to outsmart you because of some loophole in the grounding, you really can't be mad at them.
No.
Like they outsmarted you because you screwed up. You close up that loophole, and but you can't get mad at them if they found a loophole.
Nope.
It's the same thing. I found the loophole, and you're sitting there like, "Fuck! I wish I had thought of that because I would have done that 10 minutes sooner."
Yep. It would have been one of those. I would have handed her my card on the way in the building and said, "Hey, this is for our check."
But I'm good at what I do.
Yep.
Like a dirty fucking handed MP. I cheated.
Hey, it is what it is.
Hey,
If you're
not cheating, you're not trying. If you get caught cheating, you weren't trying hard enough.
I was just going to go there, but that does not apply in everything by any means.
No, but there is only one thief in
Do
the
not
army.
try and do that with your significant other or your spouse.
Oh, no,
or
you
anything.
get shot.
You deserve to have 811 called.
No, you deserve to have like a 308 through the skull.
That's why I say 811 will be called to bury you.
Oh, no, the neighbors are hearing the round, and they ain't going to care.
Hell, I'll probably help dig the hole.
They're not even they're not even going to freaking call the cops.
Speaking of
they're not even
neighbors,
going to have to worry about it. They're going to be like, yeah, I did it. And the cops are going to be like, what'd he do? And they're going to be like, they were sleeping around. The cop be like,
okay, so
I don't see anybody. The weirdest thing, they're gone now.
so like, we were speculating what the house next to us was being asked for on the price.
Okay.
I found that out today.
Right.
You ready for this sticker shock?
302,000.
Asking 280.
Oh, I wasn't too far off.
280.
Zawillow estimates mine now at like 96.
But he's never visiting.
Yeah, and mine's that's estimated whatever is like 210. But
I like the passing comment as she goes running towards the bathroom. He's never visiting as she goes right past the freaking back of the screen. There's always Thanksgiving. You're talking you don't really have Thanksgiving plans?
well, there is a semi-planned thing that I wasn't privy to, but at the same time, there's the I want to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? There's that part for sure in there. The I want to do what I want to do.
Which means you'll do what she wants to do. Got it.
Yeah, it'll be that I get my hand slapped and told to hold a pocket. Sorry. Once again, not childhood appropriate, but hey, it happens. There's the disclaimer. Not 100% sure what's going to happen yet because I have not fully committed at all to anything yet.
I've noticed.
Work-wise, I don't know what Black Friday is going to bring. I don't know if they're going to have work. I don't know if they're not going to have work. Either way, I don't know if I necessarily want to work on Black Friday because every year Black Friday has absolutely sucked with traffic. Especially around here, around the larger cities. It sucks.
I don't know. Last year was pretty decent.
Last year, yeah, that was different. Last year, any time last year was the best time to travel because nobody was out. Yeah, it was awesome last year, traffic-wise. You could go ahead and hold like a Daytona 500 at any place in the country that had a beltway.
So, oh, sorry, hold on. I got to answer a question. Yes.
Oh, what's this? Oh.
She asked, is he making excuses? Sorry, I had to answer her.
No, not yet. Not yet.
No, not yet. He'll make
yet.
excuses later.
Not
He's
yet.
already pre-planning his excuses for not showing up.
Not necessarily for you guys, though.
So when are you moving?
Yeah, that one's probably never going to happen. So that's another part of this whole construction project idea.
Oh no, I meant just like just in general, out of the house you're in. If you can sell it for that much, you've got a significant down payment on another house that you wouldn't have had otherwise, which will actually lower the cost of that house.
Oh hell, if I go to a lower living cost area, I could probably just buy something outright.
You can move next door to your sister.
No.
I hear that's a wonderful neighborhood.
Hell no. You know what? Really interesting thing with her place. They had to do a homeowner's insurance claim.
Okay.
And it kind of backfired on them, and this is where they found out that the person who inspected their house didn't do the job properly or do due diligence.
So in other words, never showed up.
No, they did. They missed something pretty significant, though. So with the one rain event that we had, the rain was coming in almost sideways because of the wind, too. Turns out, like, their second floor has, like, a walkout porch over top of a portion of the first floor. So that porch is also the roof for part of the first floor. Okay?
Right.
The beam for that porch, what would be the joist or the header, whatever term you want to use, is actually rotted.
Oh, nice.
So water got into the house and run it down the wall into their laundry room.
Nice.
Yeah, one hell of a mess.
I'll be right back.
Oh, you're good. You're good. But, there's different construction projects I want to do around here and everything. And why not make videos of it to look back in the future and totally laugh and make fun of myself for doing things whichever way I did them. Here eventually, I want to go ahead. It might be interesting to see what certain appliances actually draw as far as actual power in a day on an average day. So, yeah, you're going to have to use one of the meters on the outlets in order to see exactly how much power is being drawn and used by these appliances. Because, who doesn't want to try and cut back on their electric bill? So I got ideas as far as starting small with some sort of a solar power system to start partially powering different things.
Right. You're an appliance.
No, I'm a tool. Big difference. You're not even arguing that one. That's pretty good.
Well, I was trying to think more like you're like Rosie from the Jetsons. You just kind of do everything.
At times, I do a little bit of everything. At times,
Do a little bit of mowing, a little bit of dishes, a little bit of sweeping, a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of cooking.
Tomorrow night's my night to cook. Yes, I get to cook tomorrow night. It's gonna be so simple.
My day to cook is the 8th of October.
8th of October.
9th of October. Yep, I get to cook lunch.
Okay.
We're doing a belated birthday party for my son because everything that was happening, and then it was a good thing because when we would have ended up doing it, would have ended up being a funeral. So like it's a good thing we had already scheduled out later, just to make sure that there was time for everything. And so we're doing chipped ham.
I haven't had that in a long time.
Oh yeah, just ham sandwiches. Get to go have them freaking sliced and whatnot. You just show up at the Walmart, the freaking grocery store.
But I mean, I haven't done like a sub party or a hoagie party, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah,
I haven't done anything like that in a long time.
Yeah, I was like, I kill so much time trying to grill while everybody's there, and I always end up with either too much food or worried that I'm not going to have enough, and then half the people don't show. Screw this, I'll do chipped ham because whatever's left we can use for lunch. We can throw in salads. Like, we can do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah, and I mean, typically when it comes to like sandwich meats and stuff like that for us, you might eat it once and then the package, the majority of the package winds up getting tossed out. So,
well, right. But what you can do, you can put it in Ziploc bags and throw it in the freezer then.
Why haven't I done that yet? Because I hate throwing food away.
Yeah, throw it in your deep freeze.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, that's what we'd do. We'd buy like the 3-pound, 5-pound thing of freaking like tube of hamburger.
Yeah.
Cut it down into pounds.
Oh yeah, doing
and
that.
you throw it in a Ziploc bag and throw it in the freezer. We ate a hell of a lot more burger when I was growing up than what I eat now. Yeah, there's 4 of us, and now there's just me and my wife because my daughter doesn't eat half the stuff we eat. But it's like we just don't go through that. Like it was pretty consistent when I was growing up.
Yeah, and I mean, growing up, there's certain things. I tried it here. It was a major miss where like nobody enjoyed it, but I did. I definitely did. Brought back some good memories for me. The way my mother used to do like tuna noodle casserole.
That's disgusting.
Yes, well, it's one of those things. Either you like fish or you don't like fish, and if you don't really care for fish all that much, you're not gonna like it. So
I eat some fish. Tuna sure as hell ain't gonna be the fish I eat. Fish sticks, great.
Well, tuna out of a can, yeah, it is totally different than fresh tuna. That's for sure.
Some catfish, but 9 times out of 10, like here, let me go cook up some bluegill for you while I'm at it.
Yeah, I actually got 2 pieces of trout out in deep freeze. I need to use them sometime soon.
My daughter got a fishing pole for her birthday, and we have yet to have the chance to take her fishing.
Yeah,
mostly because I don't have a pole and I don't like fishing.
Well, fishing's a perfect way if you got to take the wife with you because that's a perfect excuse to get hammered in public.
Oh, with my wife getting hammered too? Yeah, or I just go to the bar.
No. She's the DD.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work at all. My wife would look at me and be like, "You're the DD. I already drank first. Sorry."
Well, you need to find a concealed carry holder because they're not allowed to drink when they're carrying.
But yeah, no. So, anyways, yeah, no. Did you ever watch the TV show Stargate SG-1?
I watched a few episodes of it, but I never got into it.
Okay, so Farscape?
Not really.
Farscape was all sexual innuendo, dude. Completely inappropriate for children. Like the character designs were sexual innuendos. Like the whole thing was just a giant sexual innuendo. Like every episode, every scene, everything. Yeah, anyways. So obviously you're not a big sci-fi guy. But Battlestar...
Not as much as I would like to.
Battlestar Galactica?
No, that one there, I didn't like it. I'll straight up tell you, I didn't like it. The new one
or the old one? The first one?
I don't even know which one. It was one of those where it's like, nope. That was dope.
You have to deal with the fact that it's more of like your that's not like your full action-packed sequence thing. That's a little more of a soap opera style, I guess, is the easy way to explain it. Like,
yeah, drama, but when it came to Stargate SG-1, man, that was years ago. I did sit down for a couple weeks and watch it.
It's got Richard Dean Anderson, fucking MacGyver. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I did actually sit down and watch it for a few weeks. Stargate SG-1.
So anyways, Jack O'Neill, played by Richard D. Anderson, right? MacGyver. All right.
Yeah.
He's fishing in his pond, right? In the back of his house, and people are always like, "Oh, blah blah blah." Yeah, there's no fish in his pond. So they actually go back back to 1979 and change history, and then they're fishing at the end of it, and then like find out that now there's fish in his pond. They're like, "I thought there was no fish in this pond." He's like, "Yeah, I didn't think so either." But the point is, he's fishing in a pond with no fish, sitting there drinking his beer and out fishing.
Yeah.
You always know how that day's going to end. He's just peacefully fishing. He doesn't want the rest of the nonsense that goes with it. My thing is, I don't like the fact where I cast out and it's like, and then nothing bites, and you finally go, well, fuck, I'll reel it back in. It's been like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. You reel it in and your bait's gone. You know it was on the hook so secure it wasn't coming off on its own.
Yeah. You like actually catching stuff like crazy.
Or catching nothing. If I go out and I know there's no fish there, there's no bait on this, no hook on the end of this bobber. It's just a bobber. I cast it out. I can sit there all day because I'll be calm because I know nobody's going to bite this hook.
There was a spot when I was a teenager, and I'm pretty sure that the fish are still the way they are now, or the way. Words are hard.
Three-eyed, like the fish in The Simpsons.
No, that's a different river. 3 Mile Island. Anyways, so where I used to fish when I was a kid, you could go out there. What me and my buddy used to do, we'd actually place bets with people and take as much money as we could from them. We knew exactly what the catfish would bite on there every single time, is almost at the same time that the hook hits the water. So we would go to Walmart at the end of the day when they were getting ready to toss out the unsold raw shrimp.
Okay.
And, they're not going to be able to keep it for the next day. So they're getting ready to toss it out. And we'd be like, hey, bag all that up for us and we'll buy it, and they would. We'd go ahead and buy all this old raw shrimp and go down to the river, put it on the hook, boom, less than 10 seconds, every single time, less than 10 seconds, boom, biting catfish. So, oh yeah. And it got to the point where the only reason why we were going down there at all was to see what prick we could take money off of with betting with them about how quick and how many fish we could actually pull. We'd wind up leaving sometimes with $100 in each of our pockets.
Nice.
Yeah. Which, for 17-year-olds, that's a good bit of change. Especially during when we were kids. Nowadays, that'd get you 2 video games. Or half a tank of gas.
Oh my God, dude. I'm so glad that I broke down and got my wife this newer car. Because, we were getting roughly 13 miles to a gallon in our F-150. Now, granted, we still have the F-150 for the winter, right?
Yeah.
But we got her the Fusion, and it gets like 28, roughly 28 miles to the gallon, give or take, right?
And it takes about half the size of that.
14 gallon tank versus like a 21 to 26 gallon tank, right?
Yeah.
Cost me over $40 to fill.
Nice. Not bad.
Yeah, but imagine if it was still the F-150.
Yeah, you'd be putting $75 into it every week. Meanwhile, the Fusion, you're doing that every 2 weeks.
Well, no, so you got to look. My wife has to drive my daughter to school, come back home. Go back to school, come back home every day. And then on Thursdays has to go back out for dance class and back. And that doesn't count church, which is in the same, she goes to the same place she goes to school at, right? So we go to church, come back. If we go to Defiance, that's 15 more minutes past and then back,
Yeah.
So 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever.
Yeah, so you're just filling up once a week in the Fusion where you'd be filling up like twice with the F-150. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, had we not gotten her this car, and like my Trailblazer, just going to and from work, God, I can't tell you last time I filled this stupid thing, but and that's because I just once a week the low fuel light comes on. I'm like guessing off the gas prices. Put $10 in this. Put $15 in this, and it's like, yeah, I go in, I prepay because I don't want to fill it up all the way because I'm. When you pull the handle and you lock it, even on the first, each handle has 3 stages on it. Even on the first stage, click. Fuck, I don't even have like a gallon and a half in this fucking thing. I got to sit there and fight with it because it's kicking it off because that bobber or whatever that's in there. The
theft valve thing.
Yeah. And there's no good way to replace that thing.
No, just replace the whole hose and neck, and it's a pain in the ass.
Sometimes it's the whole tank.
Ooh.
Sometimes it's down in the tank. So, and it literally, it only kicks it off because it's flowing too fast that the fumes come up and hit it. But, you know, when you prepay, right? Prepay at the pump, and at the very end, it starts doing, it's like you're in that last.
It slows down, yeah.
Down, never kicks off once during that. That's the perfect speed.
That sucks.
So I can't tell you the last time I filled it up because I'm just like, I don't have 20 minutes to fill this fucking thing.
So how many times are you putting $10 into it through the week?
Generally once. Generally once every week. Because you got to think I'm only driving it 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So generally once a week. Sometimes it might hit okay, hey, it's Thursday instead of Friday, so I can't say it's every Friday I put gas in it or every Monday, it literally when it comes on, but it's only once during that work week. So Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
It might be Friday and then Tuesday, but it depends on the gas prices because I'm generally just put $10 in it because I don't have the patience to put more than this. And I look and it's well, that was 2.5 gallons. Great.
Oh my. Well, hey, I mean, at least you live close enough to work that you're not having to go that far, that you're not having to take 30 minutes to fill it up multiple times a week.
Right. And that's where I come down to. It's am I going to have to replace it? Yes. I'm at the point now that it's if I'm going to replace it, it's going to be after my wife's car gets paid off. Which we've had since March, roughly?
March, April. Yeah, late March, I think.
Yeah. Whenever we got tax return, we went and we paid off our truck and then started looking at cars. So roughly around that time frame. This is the middle of September, right? And the way we've been paying on our car, we're literally at our next payment's not due till December.
There you go.
So when you look at that, in 6 months, we've already pushed it to that point. So her car will be paid off early, and then hopefully I can get my own truck. Because the problem with her F-150 is it was bought specifically for her driving needs, not for mine. And her driving needs were it's 2-wheel drive, no tow pack, no original tow package. So it doesn't have the oversized transmission cooler because Ford has a separate transmission cooler anyways. It doesn't have the oversized transmission cooler, and it doesn't have the right clutch plates in it for towing. It's got the small block V8 so it can tow, but it's not designed transmission-wise to tow. So in doing so, it's definitely, it's designed for her. It was bought for her. I had a Tahoe, I had a Trailblazer, and a Comanche. And so now she has 2 vehicles. I've got one, but it's at some point we're going to have to get rid of the Trailblazer. If I can get it fixed up enough, it'll be my son's first car. As long as he shows the maturity enough for driving. And I'll get something else.
Yeah.
If I doubt I'll have her car paid off in time though, which is the kind of downside, but I will not take her car into my freaking work lot. It's all freaking dust, dirt, freaking screw that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that's how our lot is where it's nothing but gravel. And it's one of those things where it's I look at my pickup truck and I'm like, I want to wash you. There's no reason to wash you. You're a pickup truck, and you're going to be in a gravel lot with dust and everything getting kicked up on you. Why?
Yeah.
I mean,
get it dusty.
Granted, at the same time, I can't just leave the stuff on there and build up on it because I don't want to deal with rust in 5 years, 6 years.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so with me, the downside is you realize my Trailblazer is almost a classic at this point.
What year is it?
2005.
Yeah, 5 more years you could put the antique tag on it.
Not even 5 years. We're in 2021, about to be rolling into 2022. It's actually the 2005 model this one was actually produced in 04 when you look at the VIN number. So this is the early model 05. So it only has to hit 20 years.
There you go.
So literally, but you never. So you know what happens when you put historic plates on something or antique plates on?
You can only drive it X amount of miles, depending on the state, per year, and you can only drive it mainly on the weekends.
And your insurance company gets really fucking weird on it. It's really, if you're going to drive the thing, it's not worth ever putting historic plates on. And in the state of Ohio, I have a good deal on my vehicle license plates, so I just can't complain.
No, you really can't, bastard. Anyhow, you earned it, though. I will say that you definitely have earned it. Can't knock you on that one. I could still mutter underneath my breath, though.
Well, each state their own options too.
Yes. Yep, and that's definitely a benefit where you're at. If you've been wounded overseas and have a Purple Heart, definitely look into Ohio and the benefits that Ohio has.
There's not a lot of them, but the one is that
no cost on your registration
as long as you put that Purple Heart plate on your vehicle. Which, you know what really irritates me now? Ohio switched over. We have one plate.
Okay.
My whole life, we've always had the front plate and the back plate. If at one plate, I could, like, as when we got another vehicle and we had to get a new plate for it, I could have taken that plate, that front plate, and like hung it on the wall.
Yeah.
No, they only send you one plate now. You don't even have the option of getting a front plate.
Yeah, they actually a few years ago here in PA did away with the registration stickers.
Oh, nice.
So that's why you see everybody's plate with no stickers on them anymore. All your registrations are electronically based anymore, and they're all in a database. All the cop cars just got equipped with a little camera scanner.
About 6 months ago, I'm driving to work. I have to swing into the gas station, grab something to drink. I think I might have had to get gas that day too. But like, it's one of those, like when my fuel light comes on, it's at like roughly a quarter of a tank. So I have a little bit of play, but I've never tested it to find out where that actually is.
Yeah, where it actually ends
up.
at.
Dashboard replaced like the third freaking fuel bomber filter system. So anyways, I've never tested it since this got replaced, right? I've never gone, well, we can see how far we can go. I'm driving, I get pulled over.
Oh, no.
And the cop comes walking up. And I just made my turn, too. And it's like, the fuck did this dude come from? Because the other cop that was behind me, I saw turn away. This cop came out of nowhere. I was like, we're talking like within a block difference, too. Like city block difference. Not like country block a mile. We're talking like city block, like 4 houses, you know?
Oh, man.
I get pulled over, and the cop comes walking up after a minute, and he's like, so I'm going to let you go. I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, when I saw your sticker, I didn't realize. I'm sorry. I was like, oh, okay, because our plates have our sticker on it.
Yeah.
Mine synced to my driver's license. It doesn't expire till 2024. What? I'll be right back. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Pennsylvania literally did it in order to. What they say is it saves money for the government, but it's like you're paying for the sticker anyhow. What's it matter about printing a sticker? But I guess the material that's used is a special material, and they just killed it. At the same time, we're still required to get our vehicles inspected every year. That reminds me, my inspection's due next month. So, got to have that sticker on the windshield at the very least.
So
I was
needless
just
to say,
explaining how PA did away with the sticker because they said it cost too much money. And then talking about it at the same time, we still have an inspection sticker on the windshield, and it reminded me mine's due next month.
well, needless to say, we don't do an inspection sticker. They now mail you your driver's license instead. We used to always get it right at the DMV all the way up to like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah?
So,
like you'd renew your license and then you'd get your registration sticker at the same time or whatever?
not generally. Like if you have to get a new driver's license, they mail the driver's license to you. The registration.
Yeah. PA does that too, which is freaking weird to me. That, to renew your license.
The registration sticker, they mail that you get right then and there.
Yeah.
Just cut it. We have to zip tie our cupboard closed because we're gone all day. Because the dog's ass hits it and it flops it open. Any of the three dogs do it. But so needless to say,
so like the spring and the hinge is worn out to the cabinet.
No, it's not even that. There's the plate that would have hooked onto the old clip. The plate on the door is gone.
Oh, the magnet.
No, it's not magnet. No. Think 1970.
Oh shit.
So yeah,
the little spring that goes inside.
Not even a spring.
Yeah.
Bent metal.
Yeah, like the diamond shaped thing, and it goes. Yeah.
Now our scissors are broke.
Now the scissors. Oh no.
They were going to break eventually, anyways. So get this right. My in-laws are such sweet people. They mean so well, but it causes me not to buy things that I need to buy, like cutlery. Because when we bought them cutlery, because her mom wanted new cutlery for the kitchen, we bought her some for Christmas. Can you guess what happened to the old cutlery?
It came to you.
It got sent to my house that same day. So needless to say, I can't replace my cutlery because... what's the point? Because I'm a cheapskate, and I was like, I'm not replacing this. We have perfectly good cutlery. The scissors just broke because they were already cracked to begin with. So, but needless to say, so I get pulled over. This cop's apologizing because he thought that my plates had expired in 2020, and I'm sitting there like, this is like. We're still in the no expiration COVID time anyway. So what the fuck are you pulling me over for, you dumb fuck? I technically don't have to renew my plates. Fuck you. But I do anyways because whatever.
Yeah, you knew you were going to have to eventually anyways.
Yeah, but the thing is, mine were already renewed for till 2024. Match with my driver's license. So I only have to go to the DMV once every 4 years.
Yeah.
Next year, because my wife finally has or not next year, 4 years from now, because my wife finally has the federal ID, she's going to start renewing her driver's license every 8 years because that's an option.
There you go.
You pay extra, but I don't have to go back to the DMV for 8 years. Fuck it.
Exactly. And at the same time, if they change their rates, the hell with them.
Right. And her car, when I go up to the DMV, I don't know if it's matched my driver's license this time or not for her car. It used to be weird. I think they finally matched her car up to mine, but it used to be, they would be like the first year I got a vehicle, I could only renew for a year. And then after that, they'd match it to my driver's license.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
At one point, they charged me the registration, the paperwork fee of $150, and then other times they don't, because nobody knows what's going on. You know how much I pay for my my license plates?
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
Yep.
You know
That's
how
why
much
I say.
You know how much I pay for my goddamn driver's license, though?
How much do you pay for it?
Like over $50.
That's not bad.
Yeah, my wife's over there like, you do 8 years? I was like, no, 4. And she's like, as I showed up 4, she goes, why do you pay $50? Because I have a CDL.
Mine's 130.
I could pay for
The license.
I could pay for my CDL to be 8 years. I don't have that option because I have the fucking hazmat that I have to get renew every 4 years.
Yeah. But I mean, mine is like 130 regardless.
Every 4?
Yeah.
Why are
Licensing
you living
fees.
in that state?
Yeah, I mean, especially with the registration on my pickup.
Your cost of living is higher, and your take-home cost for everybody in your area is average. Your actual how much money people make averages close to what we make where I'm at for every job. Why pay more to live somewhere when you can pay less and make the same fucking money?
I know. I get what you're saying, bro. I do.
Plus, we could have one studio. We could be sitting in the same room in front of the same camera.
Zach, he's not moving here. He's not visiting you. Give it up.
Our producer rests her case.
Yeah, this court is adjourned.
The second part that really kind of like kicked you while you were down.
The salt in the wound.
That was the lemon juice on top of the salt that was already in the wound. She might have broke out the lime at the same time. She didn't even give you any whiskey to wash the pain away with.
Oh, my.
But in case you haven't realized, I don't know if you see these things on your end. We have 2 viewers. So
No, I don't see any of that stuff
don't be
at all.
afraid to use that hashtag Don't Be a Nick. Follow us on the Facebook if you're not already at Jaggers Juxtaplooza. You can follow me on the Instagram at MPJags. And you can follow the other Zac at, never mind him, I'm not even playing this game. He's not paying attention. You don't give a fuck. You can get your official merchandise at cafepress.com/thejaggersjuxtaplooza, spelled JUXTAPLOOZA.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so that way you know when we're going live or doing anything or uploading anything, and the like button. Go ahead and leave us comments. We do feed off the comments for subject topics.
You can email us as well. JaggersJuxtaplooza@gmail.com, which is in the description below. Second viewer who leaves no comments. Twilight Zone.
Ooh. I haven't seen that in a while.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know the Doctor Who theme, like vocally wise. I'm not good. I was in marching band. I was not in choir. I can't sing. Actually, I had people think that I could, and they're like, "Oh, you're a baritone." I'm like, "And you're an asshole." It might have been.
I can't sing for shit. We
might
already
have been
know this.
because
I'm
I
not even
played
going to attempt it.
Well, it might have been because I played the baritone as well. So, like, it's funny. Fuck you.
Yeah, just go right together with it.
Okay, so I've played the cello. I was good for my age group, right? But I didn't like to practice. I played the trumpet. I sucked at the trumpet. The high notes I couldn't hit, right? I played the baritone euphonium. Was very, very. I was good at it. All right. With more experience, I probably could have been even better, but I got bored with it. Because at the time, I was first chair for 2 years. I was like, well, this sucks. Like, I'm bored. I'm like, let's. So I switched to the tuba sousaphone, right? And I played that the rest of my high school career, like from junior high into high school. I qualified. We had concert and symphonic band in school, so I had
You,
concert.
you
band with,
normally picture like the big guys playing the tuba.
yeah, like Big Mike, who was on the show, coming on as guest. He played the sousaphone in marching band.
Yeah, you don't typically picture like the skinny guy.
I know. Now imagine I played a fucking sousaphone marching, right?
And now you have trouble. Yeah, anyhow.
No, exactly. That's where I was going with. That's go ahead. Go finish your statement.
And now you have trouble just walking from the parking space into the door at Walmart.
Pretty much. I was a fucking tuba player. You know how much lung work it takes to play a fucking tuba?
Maybe you should start playing again.
I couldn't. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, who knows? Maybe that would help strengthen it. I don't know.
Like exercise-wise, if my doctor successfully does what he's trying to do, and that's get me as close to better as he can, like as close to not having problems with medical treatment, then yeah, there's a potential. Until that happens, no, I couldn't even attempt to it.
That sucks.
I could probably get away with like a flute for like 10 minutes. I could probably go back to like the cello, but that's because that's more of an arm and hand. But my dexterity just isn't what it used to be either. And that's actually, ironically, my left hand has the better dexterity than my right, and my left hand would be the one that's actually hitting all the notes, because your right hand is working the bow.
The bow.
But part of my problem with the cello was I never wanted to be a cello player. I wanted to play the violin or viola.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never wanted to play the cello, but they had too many cello players or too many violin viola players, so I got conned into playing the cello. And they're so damn expensive that literally you rent it from the school. Don't even buy it; you rented it from the school. When I was in school, because like we were not a rich family.
No, they're thousands of dollars, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what they are anymore. Cheap. Like I look at them and it's like if my kid wanted one, I could buy one, but I would be using my tax return for it. You know.
Yeah.
I found a flute piccolo thing for my daughter. She says she wants to play the flute. I think she's crazy, but you know, I'll let her have one to play with. I have my way. She'll do like a band choir mix because I think she would benefit from both. Her mom did choir, I did band. She's going to be musically inclined anyways, so find that happy median of doing both, even if it's like, you know, one's for church and one's for school.
Yeah.
You know, I think she'll benefit from both. Hell, if she's going to do like she went to school with you know, for career day wearing my multicam hat, because it's not OCP. I got out before OCP. It's multicam. Wearing my multicam hat, and it's like people kept making comments to her mom. It's like my wife. Well, it'll be a little more specific, but making comments going, I thought she wasn't allowed to join the service, and she's like, yeah, but you know what? I wasn't buying a costume. And my wife's kind of agreed with me, like, we want to support our daughter no matter what, but she better stay out of like combat arms. You make a good point. There is the Army choir, Army band. Like that did perfect fucking solution. Except I want her to, and she would have to go to college for that. That's the better way to get into that, anyways.
They have it listed.
Well, yeah, but the skill you gain in college band is more than you'll have before that. It is really hard to try out for college for the Army band.
Oh yeah.
But I really want to see her go join the Space Force if she's going to join the military or the Air Force. My wife's like, yeah, but she could get shot down. I was like, hey, sweetheart, only like 1% of the Air Force actually flies. Don't worry, you're fine. Like the Air Force is not a bunch of pilots. They use that to trick people into joining.
Yeah, you have to be an officer to fly.
Well, no, I said she's got to do college. No. But she's not allowed to fly. Fuck that. I'll be like, the hell you are flying a jet? No.
Can you imagine the stories that she'd be able to tell you of, guess what I broke today?
No, because her grandfather would probably
Imagine
be like,
how many millions of dollars that would be.
her grandfather would be like, I built parts for that plane. Don't fly that fucker. Like, leave that one alone.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I asked him today. I asked my father-in-law today. I was like, hey, so I got to ask you a question. I was like, so how pissed off are you right now that parts that you have your name stamped to them are in the hands of terrorists? I said, don't you kind of wish you weren't a quality stickler where you're like, the hell, I'm passing a single part that may be even a fucking 18th of a fucking mil off. It will be perfect or I will not stick my name to it. And now it's sitting in the, he's like, yeah, fuck. It's like, because his answer was, he had said they had like an inspector come through from like, it was either corporate or whatever, come through and be like, hey, so if that thing's off just a bit, but it's still it's still a good part, you're gonna pass that, right? He goes, fuck no. And they're like, no, I mean, you just do it. He goes, no, not at all. They're like, why not? He goes, one, I'm not going to prison. He goes, they know who made each part. My name's on that. You can't pull over to the nearest fucking cloud when the fucking car breaks down. Because the car can pull off the side of the road. That fucking airplane isn't pulling off the nearest cloud going, let's jack it up and work on it. That bitch is coming down. He goes, no, I do not pass bad parts. Somebody's life depends on that part.
Yep.
So, of course, I had to razz him just a little bit.
Yeah, he's probably rather pissed off about the whole situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's not happy. He's not happy.
Like, I would actually go as far as to say as the majority of people are not happy.
He watched Vietnam go the way it went, and he's watching it now. Again. Worse.
Yeah, because top-notch equipment in the wrong hands now.
Yeah.
Not just shoved to the bottom of the ocean.
Did you hear the most recent news?
Of?
We dropped those that had that drone strike against that car with ISIS K, right?
Okay, I vaguely recall a blip on that, but I didn't.
But it was right after the 13 service members died, which pissed me off all the time because they're always like 12 Marines and 1 Navy corpsman. It's like, no, it was 11 Marines, 1 Navy corpsman, and an Army staff sergeant. Stop saying it's. And I'm watching Fox News even that's doing this. It's like I want to come through and fucking punch you in the mouth. It was not 12 Marines, or they say 13 Marines. Okay, the Navy corpsman you can kind of count in with the Marines because he was working with the Marines because he's a corpsman. Yeah, they don't have their own medics. But there was a fucking soldier too, so who outranked all the other ones. So piss off. Anyways. That's my opinion of the news. But anyway, so right after that happened, we had our strike, that airstrike, where we used drones to bomb that car for ISIS K, right?
Okay.
And the Biden administration wouldn't release the names of the people that got it. Turns out they've now released. Oops, they were all innocent civilians.
Oh.
You didn't hear that?
No.
Yeah. Oh, oops. None of them.
So basically, they just picked a car and said, "Hey, that's it."
Apparently, there was children in the car. The intel was bad.
They just gave him a rallying cry.
Don't worry. We have over-the-horizon capabilities. But when we are still holding an airport, we can't tell what a car is.
They literally just gave them something to rally around.
I haven't heard which way that's going yet, but I just like it's one of those. It's an oops. It's just one more Biden screw up right now. And what bothers me the most is people keep looking and they're like, yeah, but President Harris, President Pelosi, come on now. Let's just stick with Biden. Blah, blah, blah. Well, one, if you fuck up, you should be removed, no matter what. Like ridiculously continuous screw ups like this. This needs to go before an investigation.
It's not even been a year.
Yeah. But
and the other thing that I absolutely love is, let's shut down our pipeline construction and then turn around 6 months later and ask OPEC, hey, can we get more oil?
Right. But my point being, people are always like, come on, President Harris. It's like, she's still good. Like, she's like Obama in that aspect. Like, where do I go after this presidency? Obama's going to fucking Netflix. Like, he's like, how do I make more money? Even the Clintons were like, how do we make more money? Biden, it's like grandpa with the car keys. And it's like, grandpa, you can't drive anymore. Don't tell me I can't drive. Grandpa, they took your license 6 years ago. And I'll drive if I want. And it's like, grandpa, we fucking took the spark plugs out of your car. I'll drive if I want. And he uses the lighter to fucking ignite the goddamn things and wonders why the whole thing doesn't work right.
That's a really ironic comparison that you just made there.
That's Afghanistan.
Because presidents aren't allowed to drive on public roads after they leave office, right?
I don't give a fuck.
They're only allowed to drive on their own private land.
My point being, that's what this is right now. It's trying to take Grandpa's car keys because he can't drive anymore because he can't fucking see. That's Biden during this whole Afghanistan thing. No matter what they told him, we were leaving. It didn't matter. Right, wrong, or indifferent. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to be one of the people that looks and goes, well, over 70% of Americans were for leaving Afghanistan. So it's not about leaving. It's about how we left. No, for me, it's about leaving. We needed one more generation total before we could actually fucking leave in general. But we should have treated this like we did Korea, Iraq. You don't see people complaining about Iraq being the second longest war we've ever been in.
3 times.
You don't see them complaining.
No, and I mean, technically Korea's not over yet.
No, but we're in a ceasefire, but we're done. Korea's not.
Speaking of Korea, did you I think I told you about that news story earlier this week. And I think you liked it just as much as I did. North Korea did another missile test. They sent 2 missiles into the ocean.
Near Japan.
For the first time, South Korea went ahead and said, all right, enough of your shit. They did their own within hours of North Korea's, except for they now have joined us in proving to the world their capabilities of launching a missile from a submarine. They make the 7th country in this planet to prove to everybody that they have this capability. So they surfaced a submarine that was close by where these missiles hit in the ocean and went ahead and did their own test launch after being like, hey, here's our sub, watch this, dive, and then launch the missile.
Your back is fine.
I think that's pretty freaking cool that South Korea finally said enough of your shit, North Korea. We could play that game too.
Yeah, but what gave them the balls to finally do it?
Grandpa Joe didn't have our back.
And who gave them the technology for that?
Well, regardless of our support of them on that, I guarantee you that was one of our old submarines. I guarantee it. It's pretty freaking cool regardless.
Can you guarantee that?
Well, okay. No, I can't truly guarantee it. But look at all the countries we've supported, all the things we've given to other countries.
Like the Taliban?
That are our allies. No, the Taliban just got a lucky strike.
Did they?
They just got really fucking lucky. That we didn't have somebody. Never mind. I gotta shut up.
Competent?
Sure. We'll go with that one. But yeah, I mean, South Korea just got ahead and said, all right, North Korea, fuck you. Watch this. Pretty good. Pretty good show this week.
Competent? No, that's not the word. Continent. They're lucky we didn't have somebody continent. Because the incontinence going on here. Because obviously they're just shitting themselves all over the place.
I was thinking more along the lines of somebody with a pair.
No, because like I said, what I was trying to say earlier, Kamala, Pelosi, they could still see like political like windfall. They'd be like, I'm not being like, look, I'm all for pushing the envelope, but I'm not gonna like sacrifice my whole fucking like, no, not happening. Am I wrong?
No.
Like even Kamala would look and be like, how's this going to affect me 10 years from now? Biden's like, I haven't had a heart attack yet, so let's make this decision. Like all the jokes of Bill and the freaking Big Macs.
It's not pretty what's happening at all. I don't even know where to go with it and saying what I want to say and what I can or can't say. It's just we're in a really bad position right now. We really are. It's really pathetic. It's uncalled for. It's unneeded. And we're the laughing stock of the world right now. We really are. We really are. We have allies that we've had for years that took decades to build these relationships, even looking at us saying, what the fuck is wrong?
Are we the laughing stock of the world? Or just the laughing stock of the first world?
Well, you got to think about it this way. I mean, a third world country jerked our chain around to this point. You can look at it that way on the world stage, that what would be considered third world, just because of one really shitty decision, it just whatever, and nobody's got the same respect anymore that they had a year ago for us. Nobody.
But we were losing respect 4 years before that.
And we lost respect, the 4 years prior, yes. But I mean, at this point, we've lost even more, and even our own self-dignity, really.
Look, dude, when we traded 5 people for one guy, when obviously we should have just been in the unit and get said guy.
No, that was a shit show. That marked a total change in policies.
And we can't even, finish charging said jackass that we got in trade.
Yeah, because it turns out not a hero. Anyhow, that's all I could say on that one without going too far. Shit.
What's considered too far?
When you bring up
Allegedly,
treason, too far would be a long drop.
Allegedly a traitor. Allegedly a bitch. Biatch, allegedly.
Too far would be a long drop. You need a short drop.
Oh, for hooking up his cable?
Oh, sorry.
Allegedly, no, I mean, by all law,
technically by law, that could still happen because that's military law, and that's still on the books.
Allegedly.
But the last time that was done was in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken.
My point being.
Sorry.
And then, when our sailors get captured by, a foreign government, when we get them back at the same time that we magically release funds to them, and we release it in cash, that's negotiating in ways that we typically would never have negotiated.
Not to mention with the pirates as well, that's happened.
This was our sailors, all right.
Yeah, I'm talking our sailors with some pirates as well. That's happened too, but also with an actual foreign government that's known to support terrorism worldwide to take us out. Yes, that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, and so we do that, and then 4 years later,
in international waters.
Well, and then 4 years later, the vice president of that same administration ends up president, and you wonder why people are looking, going, "He'll negotiate with us."
Was it really negotiating, or did they think that okay, we negotiated before him, now we can strong arm?
But it's the same difference. But the problem being that we're allowing it to happen. It just, if he wasn't constantly making comments about when he was vice president and that administration and just led with, "Hey, look, I am the president. Fuck you. I'll do what I want." I'd have a little more respect.
And not trying to claim to be a truck driver.
No, let him claim whatever he wants. Stolen valor. My problem is...
you went there. Especially at the end of Truck Driver Appreciation Week. That's pretty good.
You're welcome. My problem is when it's... I'm not allowed to... They tell me to call on these people. They tell me not to... Okay, that's fine. They can tell you who to call on, right? They can tell you these are the people that you should call on, not avoid these people. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But they turn off his microphone. Who's doing this? Who's telling him who he can and can't talk to? Because he comes up and says these things publicly, even if it's happening, and I'm sure it happens with every president, right? Out of all realism, it's how it's addressed and how that president wants to vocalize and perceive it. But don't tell everybody. If you just walked up and acted like, I'm going to call on questions, I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ignore everybody else, don't tell all of them that. Just don't. Don't read the note in the parentheses on your teleprompter. That's telling you, in the brackets, it's telling you, this information's for you, not read it aloud. When it looks in the bracket says, take deep breath. Pause for applause. Don't read the words.
Oh my. Anyhow, we've really gone down the rabbit hole on this one.
I know, right? And Zach paused for applause.
So
the social media manager in the background just started clapping. It goes better at the same time. So
with all of that being said, try and bring it back to something halfway positive and funny at the same
you want
time.
halfway positive or funny, or you want something you're allowed to talk about? Is that what the problem is?
Well, both.
Because this show is about everything. Damn it.
We'll see. We'll see how these construction projects go for me tomorrow.
Oh, speaking of, when I got called away the last time before we broached this subject, I have to go to freaking Menards tomorrow. I don't know.
Oh, yeah?
You have Menards where you're at, right?
I know what they are. They're
Okay.
not around here.
Okay, so I have to go to Menards tomorrow, and I have to get some dryer hookup stuff because our line broke and it runs down in the floor into the crawl space and then out the wall.
Ew.
And it's like, so the line's broke, and yeah, I've got extra line in the house, but I want to go see if I can find the quick connect hookups.
Daddy, after church.
Yes, after church.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I want to get those quick connects. Then I want to take some boards and actually lay behind the dryer so it can't shove up anymore to cut that hose because our hose broke. My wife's like, "Hey, it smells really hot in here." I was like, "Yeah, it's because it's a laundry room and
It's blowing out the back.
yeah." And she's like, "Yeah, but it smells like it's about to catch fire." I was like, "Yeah, just watch it." And she's like, "Yeah, that's a fucking answer." I'm like, "Yeah, it really isn't a good answer. I don't like it at all. That's why we've hardly run the dryer all week."
Yeah. At the same time, you might even want to look at like I did this before where I've actually used stovepipe instead of that hose.
Oh, yeah, the pipe. I'm going to use that for if I can find it for running through the floor for top and bottom of the floor, so the hose just runs to the wall. And
Well, I mean,
hose
even
up.
get one of those adjustable couplings where you can change it from straight to 90 degrees, whatever.
Right, but you have
to go on the back of the dryer onto that the floor.
But my problem is I just don't like that as you have to hope it lines up right. And every dryer size is different, placement's different, so.
Yeah.
But they have these fast connects that lock into place that I'm gonna get. So that it just clamps on the end so that hose can just lock on so I'm not breaking the line up at ground under from like the floor under. I'm only if the line ever breaks, it's only from the dryer to the floor, not the whole hose run down through.
And you know, I had made mention about actually this pipe right above my head, this drain pipe, not the black one, the one up above. That's the one for my sink and my washer.
Right.
I actually didn't even have to run the snake down it today.
Did you buy the snake?
Yeah, I went into this corner here. I thought that might be where there's a clog or slowing it down. It fixed itself. I just started dumping like a crap ton of hot water down the pipe, and it pushed it on through. Whatever it is, it's gone now. It's no longer slow in the sink. Whenever the washing machine's draining, it was at the same time as the washer draining that the sink would be slow with draining, like not backing up, but not going down really either.
You do realize part of that could just be the flow, the one flows faster than the other flow.
Well, I mean, it's good now. The sink immediately drained earlier. So whatever it is, it's gone now. I mean, I even thought maybe it was an air bubble too, and then it did it a second time, and that's where it's like, okay, something's caught in the line. Not anymore.
Did you ever wonder if maybe it was an air bubble in your brain?
there's probably quite a few holes in my brain, whether it's air or other nonsense. Who knows? Although there are times where, like, when Danielle's talking to me, she'd like me to go like this, so that way I actually retain something.
Sorry, what you were talking?
Exactly. In one ear, out the other.
So, the beginning of the show, we were explaining whether or not your opinion of science fiction before we started the show.
Okay.
And your wording was, I wish. Hold on, I got a dog leaning up against my desk, shaking the whole thing.
Oh, my leg's been bumping this table the whole night. So.
Well, that's fine, but the dog's literally itching and shaking the entire freaking thing, and I'm watching it like flutter. So you were saying you wish you got into some of the sci-fi stuff. What do you mean by wish?
Like having the time to be able to sit down, dissect it, actually take it in.
Well, it takes one episode a day, even.
Yeah, kind of hard to do with 3-year-old at times.
Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. As long as you watch shows that the child can age appropriately watch, you're fine. Don't watch Game of Thrones with your 3-year-old around.
Oh, don't watch Game of Thrones with any kids. Let's go ahead and be clear on that one.
I've never got past season 4. The child became old enough to understand, and we go, well, this show's off.
Yep.
So, yeah. Don't get me wrong. No idea how it goes past season 4. Everybody's angry, and I'm sitting there like, but it was just getting good. What do you mean it's a shitty show? It's like, well, it was good, but now it's not. It's like, but it's getting good. What do you mean? It's like, well, give it 4 more seasons. It's like, what do you mean? At this point, I got to start over from season 1. I got 8 seasons till it goes to hell. We're finishing Flash right now, like the 7th season, because season 8's like the end of it. And then we're going to finish Lucifer has 1 more season. That's out on Netflix now. We haven't been able to start that yet. One show at a time. And some weeks we watch, or some days we watch like 1 episode. Some days I get home early enough we can watch 2 or 3 of the Flash. Even, I mean, we literally just went through 8. We're in season 7, and we've been working on it 2-3 months now.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't watch it when I'm at work. So, I mean, literally just pick a show. What show are you interested? What show do you wish you had had time to watch?
Tell you the truth right now, I really don't even know.
Well, stop rewatching House and maybe you'd be able to fucking watch something.
Breaking Bad was awesome.
Never got into it. I don't like meth.
Just the whole show was.
I didn't. No. I like the concept. It's like, yeah, they're cooking meth so he can pay for his medical bill or take care of his family after he dies from his cancer. I'm like, or don't sell meth, maybe.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty wild how like the extremes of cancer and all pushed him to that extreme. To where he's like, well, shit, I really haven't done anything with my life that is actually going to mean anything to my family after I'm gone, and trying to actually leave them something, and he went down that path.
And then took it too far.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah. Took it way too far and went way in over his head way too quickly, not realizing what he actually got himself into until it was almost too late.
But my point being, so don't like meth. Meth is the one drug that like literally will fucking you'll never see me like be like, oh, maybe no. Meth is fucking horrible. Meth destroys fucking everything.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I can sway back and forth on legalities on some of them where it's like just because I don't want to do it, should it be legal? It's like, okay, but I've got certain things that stipulate like protections for both the consumer and my family to ensure that they're not freaking stoned when they fucking slam into my family car and I lose one of my children because of their accident.
Yep.
If you're high, then sure, you better be fucking charged even worse because it's no different than a DUI with alcohol or people on medication even. Because some medication, if you'll still get a DUI OVI. But if you're not, but that test implies you might be because you did that drug a month ago, but it's legal, well, that's not fair to you either if you're getting charged just as harshly for an accident that was unavoidable. You're getting charged just as harshly as someone who's drunk. No, that's not fair to you. So I look at it from both sides, and I have a lot of people agree with me on that. Meth, on the other hand, fuck you, meth. Fuck meth.
I got to agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen what it does to people. Totally destroys them.
Oh, yeah. Though if you, I had where it was suspected when I worked a certain one job, it was suspected that there's a whole line of people, like line is in like factory line, right? Line of people that was on meth because they like literally got caught selling it across the street by another employee at the gas station at like lunch or something. And it's like, and I made comment, hey, you know, I'm being told this. Should we randomly drug test these people? And I got told, well, you know, keep an eye on them because we can't do based off of the hearsay thing, which is bullshit because you literally can. Like, there's ways I suspect that they're on drugs, but based on actions, I can drug test them because it was in a right to work state. But the reason they didn't want to just like randomly drug test these people, they were amazing employees for 3 days. And then they'd have one day where they were just lagging ass. And then they were an amazing employee for like another 3 days because that meth, they were just fucking everywhere. They got like, okay, cool.
Got everything done.
Yeah. But I'm like, but they're a danger to fucking themselves and everybody else. Let me drug test them. I literally got told, keep an eye on them.
Yep.
You can't use that knowledge because literally they were amazing at getting rate done majority of the week. That's not right at all, but that's the way
it happens.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. And
it's just like, you know.
I got introduced to the concept of people on meth when I was in the Army because it was part of my job to identify like just all the chemicals and stuff. And then at the same time, because we got trained on it, then at the same time I had neighbors and I'm like, these motherfuckers are on meth and I'm watching them get arrested. And I'm watching like their teeth rot out. And I was like, you guys are fucking stupid. And then years later, I've got an ex-wife that ended up getting hooked on drugs. You know, meth being one of them. And I was like, this is asinine. What is wrong with you? And I watched the effects of that. And I was like, no. And that really made that like that. That's one of them that I'm just 100%. I've watched that thing destroy. And that was after we separated. So it's not even like that. It's not even like, oh, it caused the end of my relationship because obviously, okay, that would be a more biased situation. No, they got onto it afterwards. And I was like,
why did you even try it?
Personality change, the whole everything. I was like, you were already going down a bad route anyways, but now I'm watching this. And I was like, oh my God, this is just a horrible drug. When the drug becomes more important than your family, your children, your everything, it's just no. How can can't.
Nope, not at all.
Can't do it. It's no different than like the alcoholic, where the alcohol is more important than your family. I'm going to say the same fucking thing. Alcohol is bad for you, but meth, it always becomes like that. There's no in between.
Nope.
There's no casual meth user.
No, not at all. And on that one, stay off the meth. Don't Be a Nick.
No, I can't even do that one. I can't even let that one. Hold on, because I did have.
I paused specifically.
I did have a conversation with a Nick who was like, "Oh well," and it's like, well, I'm telling you right now that the thing being, well, yeah, it's called "Don't Be a Nick" for a reason.
That's
like,
why I paused.
The drink, like the dummy enough to start drinking because you're getting razzed by the comments in the chat group. Never showing up. Always having an excuse. When you do show up, it's for like 10 minutes and then you disappear. I said things like that, No, I said it's just caught on. It is a Don't Be a Nick. But at least I don't know very many Nicks that I've met that use meth.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that is very true.
I've met lots of different people that use meth, but I haven't met very many Nicks that I know of that use meth.
No, and I mean, we are being clear on that, the separating that.
Most of them use like coke or heroin, horrible drugs. But not meth bad. Heroin's a fuck. Dude, I'll tell you, I found out like in the area I live in, heroin at least at one point had become like after I graduated high school, it had become a like recreational drug around here because people had nothing better to do. And I was like, what do you mean you have nothing better to do? It's like, you go to work. It's like, well, they are. It's like, what do you mean you have nothing better to do? Like, I can find all sorts of better things to do than fucking heroin.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you? Heroin? Like, I'm going to stick this needle in my arm because I have nothing better to do. Like, okay, go get a tattoo if you want a needle shoved in your arm, you fucking weirdo. It's probably cheaper, too.
And it's clean, for sure. At a reputable shop.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I found out heroin was like the fucking like the go-to thing around here. I was like, when I was in high school, it was like, they're smoking weed. Like, what do you mean this is the go-to thing? Like, okay, you want like the rich soccer mom cocaine, I guess, but what do you mean they're doing heroin? Like, who the fuck around here can like fucking has heroin?
Yeah.
I don't really want to answer people like to the chat group and whatnot. I don't really want to know. My point being is still valid. Like, it's small town USA. Like, where the fuck are you getting heroin? This ain't the big city. Like, are you driving all the way up to the Detroit? You're driving out to fucking Chicago, down to fucking Dayton, Columbus, Cincinnati, whatever, fucking to get your heroin. Like who the fuck is selling heroin around here?
Yeah,
and it just boggles the mind. Drugs are bad. There's no way around it, and I'm a big advocate of like drug use is bad.
Yes.
I don't look at it's a gateway drug. That's asinine. Your personality is a gateway. Because I've watched people who it's like, I smoke cigarettes. The next thing I know, I'm doing fucking heroin. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, they never did the in-between shit. They went from like, I tried a cigarette one time, shooting up heroin. Like, I had a drink of alcohol one time and now I'm doing meth. It's like, what the? There's not I found pot. And then from there I went to cocaine. And cocaine was too expensive, so I went to crack. Somebody laced my crack with some fucking heroin. So now I'm doing heroin. Somebody laced my heroin with fentanyl, and now I found fentanyl meth. It's like, that's not like what's going on. It's like, it's really fucking weird. And my thing is, if you take your time, you raise your kids right, and right is morals, everything that goes with that, not over disciplinarian, but raise your kids right. Teach them there are rules to life and the importance of working. They're not going to end up turning into that drug addict who just works towards that next high. Instagram, these social media stuff, like, yeah, I got the Instagram. I don't pay any attention to it. I let somebody else deal with it because it doesn't affect their life either, because it's stuff for me, not for them. And by doing that, there's no addiction to it for me. My
Yeah.
addiction is this long form conversation. I mean, out of all realism, long form conversation where you bounce all over the place. That's my addiction.
There you go.
My addiction is more knowledge. Sometimes I fail at it. Sometimes I can't retain shit. And then there's other times that it's like, oh, hey, I'll quote something to you and be like, where the fuck did you learn that? I don't know. And you look it up and you're like, oh, shit, he's right. There's other times it's like, I have no idea. What do you mean that when you turn it to the right, it tightens the screw? It's like, what do you mean it's not reverse threaded? What do you mean it is reverse threaded, you son of a bitch? That's a thing? So in that regard, it's like, if you take the time, put the effort into raising your kids, teach them right and wrong. It's a morals thing. You teach them hard drugs are horrible for you. Why would you ever look and be like, I understand fucking hippies and their free love thing, but it's like, why would you want to take and look and go, hey, man, it's okay if you want to take and go do this weed. And it's like, no, you're the parent. Don't get stoned with your kid, you worthless sack of shit. Like, I don't do this thing. You're their parent, not their friend. You know how many times I've looked at my own child and I've looked at him and been like, do you think I'm your drinking buddy? Like, are we going to the bar on the weekend? And he's just looking at me, he's like, what? Because even that concept doesn't make sense to him. It's like, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be your parent. I don't care if you like my rules. My rules are here for a reason. It's not to harm you. It's to teach you right, wrong, and to benefit you and teach you to be a man. Or for my daughter to be a good woman, a God-fearing woman. God-fearing man and a God-fearing woman. Do my kids fear me about as much? Oh, yeah. That's not a bad thing. And people need to realize kids being scared of dad, kids being scared of mom is not a bad thing. It's the fear of disappointment. It's not fear of, oh, my parents could beat me and abuse me. That's not okay. Abuse is wrong. But the fear of disappointing your parents, that should be key because they want to strive to not disappoint you. But you want them to know that it's okay that when they do something wrong, that they come to you and they tell you anyways. That there's more disappointment when they don't come to you with the problem. There's more disappointment there. There's numerous times with my kid, it's like, look, I'm not going to yell at you because you came and were honest with me. Right from the get-go. Something broke, you came right to me and you were honest. Had you hit it, then I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm going to look at you and be like, look, you screwed up. But I'm not going to scream at you. I'm not going to yell at you. You didn't earn getting yelled at. That's the problem with people today. They want to be everybody's friend. Sometimes you just need to set the example. Guess what? Some people on the show realize it. Some people might not. I'm still dealing with process of it. But Catholic. My faith, my following of faith is Catholic. I was raised Baptist. I've been to Nazarene churches. I was supposed to be they wanted me to be a Baptist minister and go to college for all that and everything else. And I've gone Catholic. How often do you see me shove my faith down your throat? That's me asking you a question.
Yeah.
Actually shove my faith down your throat.
Not
really having happen. Conversation, but actually really be try to force you to be like, oh, like the Protestant Baptist mindset of Southern Baptist that you need to come to church with me. You need this. Like the constant witnessing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. I mean, it doesn't happen all that often. No.
I'll look and say, hey, some sort of faith might be good for your situation. Because I know you have a faith upbringing and background. It's like, go back to a church. It doesn't have to be my church. Go back to a church. This might help you. But you're a close friend of mine.
Yeah.
How
I do understand that.
Yeah. How often? Because I want to see you benefit as a person. Because I know you have that faith background, and you're searching for something at certain times in your life when everything's just too much. And that conversation might make you not necessarily go back to church, like the physical church, but church is in the body of Christ, which is, hey, I'm gonna pray to God and be like, I can't handle this on my own, and then somehow you get through it. Just the conversation I have, you get through it, which works for you. But I don't just shove down. You've been around me for years. I don't just shove faith down everybody's throat.
No.
Because it's looking at me and going, what's different about him? That's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be you show by an example, not shove it down everybody's throats. That's what it's supposed to be. That's how you're supposed to do things, because they look at you and go, what do they have that I don't? Yeah. Why do they why is everything going wrong and they seem at peace? Well, it's because I've already looked and freaked the fuck out at home, and now I'm in public. Let's be honest, like everybody else. I've already fucking had my blowout at home, and then you're not seeing it. But you're not seeing how I got to that in the realm of the mindset that it could be worse. There's a way through it. I mean, because how the hell else am I standing here? Sitting here, because I'm sitting now. But, yeah. A damn suicide bomber at 10 feet. After they body checked me first when they were supposed to go off. How am I here?
Yeah.
I got no answer. No rational answer. Sure, you can lay down facts, but the facts don't add up. That's not how it works. Is there something else? Was there another purpose to this? Well, hell, I wouldn't have my daughter. I would never have met my wife.
No.
You and I wouldn't have become as good friends as we did. Or
no.
Look at everything that's occurred in my life. Yes, something negative happened. Something negative happened. Because it actually, at the time, was probably psychologically worse for me, right? So the psychological damage that I ended up having to go through was worse than if I had just not come out of it. But in the long run, once I got past all that, and I was able to cope with the world still functions, and you look and go, why am I still here? Once I got to that point, then, yeah, it's like, it by far is better than not being here. Look at everything I have because of it. So, I mean, when you look at that, it's the shitty part. You go through horrible things in life, and it's how you cope with it. And that's the thing that you should be doing. It's not turned to drugs. It's turned to something else that's going to benefit your life in a positive way. And then as you have children or influence the lives of other people's children, that you teach them right and wrong, and that no matter what, there's always a positive way out of it. Don't look for that negative. Don't go to the drugs. Don't go to the gambling. You can do your scratch off your lottery ticket. You go to the casino. Don't let it run your life. It becomes a problem when it runs your life. Hard drugs will always end up running your life. Nobody casually goes, I'm just going to do heroin for the first time in the last 6 months. No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
You don't just casually do these things. So you got to teach your kids to not casually fuck around with this shit.
Exactly. Multiple other things, too, that could lead to being influenced as well. So when they're being influenced, and not necessarily for something drug wise, but you got to put an end to it too.
Right.
So
toxic people in their life.
Yep.
You have to convince them that this person's not your friend. They're actually like being a jerk. I have that problem with my son. My son doesn't.
And I got that going on here.
Doesn't have the maturity to match his age. He this would have been like 4 years ago, had some kid kick him in the nuts, and he's like, but he's my friend. It's like, no, friends don't do that to each other.
Nope.
Like, that's not acceptable. My son later had to go to the hospital to be checked because there was issues. Thank God he turned out okay from it, but like he had to go see a doctor to make sure that it didn't cause damage. Okay, that means it's way more than just kids screwing around.
Yeah.
On top of my son has medical conditions in general, anyways. But the point being, like this kid is not your friend. But my son tries to find the best in everybody, I guess would be the best way to see it, to the point that he's like, no, they're my friend because they said they're my friend. Whereas I have my 5-year-old looking at me and go, like, this would have been last year, looking at me and saying, the one little girl said, well, I'm not friends with you today because I'm friends with this person today. Like, you can't be friends with more than one person every day. And shove my child to the side, and she would just be all sad and mopey. I found out my daughter's now best friend had the same issue with the same girl last year.
Yep.
So it's not just you have to raise your older children right. You have to start with them young too, because I'm trying to help convince a 5-year-old that this is not how it works. That's not friendship. You can be friends with lots of people.
Very true. Well, we'll see what type of madness I create with video footage tomorrow. Might have to be a couple videos thrown together because I doubt I'm going to be able to video everything all in one take.
Oh, right.
A little bit of demolition with yanking out of door frames and trying to set new prefab doors up. Could be interesting. I've never done it before.
Are you using an air nailer?
No.
Okay, well, you need to go get an air nailer, and what you do is you hold the board up, right, and then you take the air nailer and you
No, I don't need any piercings right now.
No, you right in that gap between your fingers, you line it up.
I don't need any piercings. So we'll see what type of madness and craziness I can create tomorrow.
What I'm hearing out of all this is that people should use that hashtag don't be a Nick. Hashtag we visit our friends because they're actually our friends. And to follow us on the Facebook at the Jaggers Juxtaplooza. You can follow me on the Instagram at MPJags. If you had an Instagram, you could be posting pictures as well of your construction project on this Instagram. But do you have an Instagram?
No, I don't. But we do have merchandise at cafepress.com/thejaggersjuxtaplooza. Don't be afraid to go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, so that way whenever we do have a video posted, you guys get to see it first. Don't forget, though, most importantly, don't be a Nick. Use the hashtag don't be a Nick. We'll see.
No, God damn it.
We'll see if I turn into a
Nick.
Nick.
Comments in the comments below. Share us with your friends because that's, if you would share us with your friends, maybe we'd have more viewers. I'm looking at you.
So,
are you going to share us with your friends?
I have gone ahead and sent it out to a few people. Anyhow,
you could share the whole video on the Facebook because you have a Facebook. You just don't use your Facebook for that.
I really do stay off of it a lot anymore.
But you should have an Instagram or a Tweeter.
We have gone over the 2-hour mark.
Twitter?
Usual for us.
Twitter. That's what it is. Twitter.
No,
sorry,
I don't have that either.
I was thinking like purple. I was thinking like
nor the clock-like
purple,
thing that makes the noises of the clock. TikTok.
I was thinking like purple nurple or something like that. I wasn't sure what was going on. I don't know how it works.
So, anyhow, I would say it's been a very good show, considering that we've kept it going for even more than 2 hours.
Right.
everybody, try and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't forget, don't be a dick. Follow us on Facebook at the Jaggers Juxtaplooza. You can follow him on Instagram at Who Cares. Official merchandise can be purchased at cafepress.com/Jaggers Juxtaplooza. His real Instagram's MPJags. Anyhow, just a little bit sarcastic humor there. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Don't be afraid to comment. You can leave comments after the video and after the live feed as well that we'll get and be able to go back to and talk about in the future as well.
Don't share porn. I get that a lot.
No.
There's a lot of these like, oh, meet girls near you. It's like, who the fuck are you? Like, I don't know who you are. I don't understand. Actually, apparently we had one on my 9/11 no show. Day of Remembrance no show. Somebody, I don't know who this is, says my birthday is 9/11. Well, happy birthday to you. We acknowledged your existence. I didn't know you watched our show. I think you literally just saw 9/11 as that thing.
Yeah.
So, congratulations. Happy birthday. I hope you're at least of the legal age of not, younger than 13, because if you're under 13, you shouldn't be watching any of our videos. If you're under 18, you probably shouldn't be watching any of our videos either. 30.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on that.
We're at 31 subscribers.
There we go.
If you would share with more people, we'd have more.
Oh, my. You all have a good evening.
Your boss could like our thing, too.
No. You all have a good evening.
Why can't Joe Biden? No, Joe Biden is well in his ability to like our show if he wants.
He'd be interesting. Anyways, you all have a good evening. Have a good remain. I don't feel like getting sniffed. And you all wind up. Oh, shit. I can't even do it.
Are you okay? Do you have this? Are you good?
I'm good.
Are you sure?
You take the clothes out.
Oh, hold on. I'm getting reference to something. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So happy birthday to the girl who's way too young to be watching our show. If those pictures are anywhere near accurate. I don't think she's watching this show. It was one of those those Facebook beta short things.
Yeah.
And that's if they're even legit. Like in there's a lot of, I get a lot of bots and making comments on our videos that disappear. This one, our social media manager goes, yeah, but this person looks like they're 5. So happy 5th birthday. Don't watch our normal videos. That one was at least, appropriate because all it was just a short, 1 minute thing of like, hey, 9/11's for remembering people, not for long. The 20th anniversary, at least. I'm not going to say every 9/11 we're not going to do a video. I got it. But the 20th anniversary, it just, with everything else going on, it was definitely not the day for us to be having a long-form conversation.
No, there were a lot of different things happening that day, and none of them really pretty. So,
well, especially, look, everything going on with the fall of Kabul. Everything going on, it was just not a good year.
No, it hasn't been. So,
and I don't understand, personally, why we made as big of a deal out of the 20th anniversary. I understand 2 decades. Don't get me wrong, but I thought we made bigger deals out of the first decade and then at 25, not necessarily at 20.
The 25th one will make the 20th a shadow. So,
I hope
anyhow.
not. I don't want us to forget the hell that happened right leading up to the 20th.
Yeah.
With Afghanistan, everything else, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see something worse that makes this shadowed into nothingness. But everybody, thank you for joining. Make sure to use that hashtag Don't Be a Nick. Follow us on the Facebook at the Jaggers Juxtaplooza. Follow me on the Instagram at MPJags. You can follow the other Zac at, never mind, he's a bitch. You can follow, get your official merchandise at www.cafepress.com/thejaggersjuxtaplooza. You can also email us at thejaggersjuxtaplooza@gmail.com. That's in the description below. This has been our 25th episode, and you guys have a great rest of your day
and weekend.